Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ximenez, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be of about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seat belt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to another Weird Wednesday. And we have our return guests, Steve and Heather from A Night Among Ghosts.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
And Jamie up there in the corner. How's everybody been doing this weird week? We got a few weird news stories and a little video, and then we'll be talking to Steve and Heather and see what's happening in their realm of weirdness. Everybody's loading up in the chat room. What's up, Keith? How's it going? And as usual, I have like 20 windows open over here.
I'm almost situated.
They got a couple of weird stories. Got a UFO story, and this one is kind of like the story I had last week. Let me see if I can share the picture. There we go. I think I would have all these laid out right beforehand, and then they all freak out on me. Montana mom, kind of like the story last week. Another mom that disappeared. This one's Montana mom of 4, missing since September, is found dead in her car inside a storage container.
Yeah.
Yeah. what it says about the missing mom that was found in a storage container. These glasses aren't going to work. Known as sunny side up kind of person, Sally Damaris Smith was last seen driving to Malta on September 25th. Now the mom of four is dead and police are investigating. Mother of four, Sally Jane Damaris Smith of Montana, was known for always being upbeat, whether she was leading a spin class or greeting her colleagues in the early morning hours at the elementary school where she worked. Talk about a wonderful, warm person, her friend Jill Van Heel, a fifth grade teacher, said. She worked as a speech and language pathologist, and, at 6 a.m., nobody's warm and wonderful and fuzzy, but she always was. The 52-year-old vanished on September 25th. Her husband, children, and many friends were worried sick. On Sunday, her loved ones received the shocking news that she was found dead. Her body was found inside her 2005 Toyota Corolla, inside a storage unit just outside of Great Falls. Sheriff Jesse Slaughter of, what a name, Sheriff Slaughter, Cascade County Sheriff's Office, said in a news release an autopsy is planned for Tuesday. Police are investigating it, but have not said whether they believe Smith was a victim of foul play. A friend of hers who posted on the Help Find Sally Smith Facebook page implied he believes she was killed. Very sad day, and a big thank you to all that helped in looking for her. Sally was found today and she was deceased. The person who did this needs to be found. The Montana Department of Justice issued missing endangered person alert for Smith, who was last seen on the afternoon of Friday, September 25th in Great Falls. Seems to be a weekly thing now. A mom is disappearing.
Yeah, it does. Kind of scary.
Yeah, that's scary.
Crazy.
And then to be inside a car in a storage container.
Yeah, inside the car in a storage container.
And they're not talking about storage like a storage facility. They're talking about a shipping container.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So
yeah, you just don't drive a car up in those. They don't have the ramps or anything on those. Like
exactly. Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Let's see. The next one I have up. I'll do this one and I'll save the video for last.
Oh, Laura, I don't even want to hear about duct tape right now.
Oh,
there's a story there.
This one, UK UFO case filed to be kept secret until 2072. Why is my first question. Back in August of 1990, two hikers who had been walking in the Scottish Highlands near Galvina, I don't even know how to say that next word, witnessed a strange diamond space object hovering over the nearby landscape. They managed to capture the image of a UFO before it sped off at a significant speed. Keen to get the word out about what they had seen, the pair got in touch with the Scottish Daily Record newspaper and shared both their story and the photographs they had taken. Journalists then shared the images with the UK Ministry of Defense. It turned out that the hikers had not been the only ones to see the object. An RAF Harrier jet pilot had also witnessed the phenomenon, again near Galvin, after being scrambled to investigate. The Defense Intelligence Staff sent these images to JARIC, that's the Joint Air Reconnaissance and Intelligence Center, said former MOD UFO investigator Nick Pope. Now, this is the UK's military center of expertise when it comes to imagery analysis. These intelligence personnel come to the conclusion that these photographs are real. It's a solid craft, and no one has the faintest idea what it is. 30 years on, and the MOD dossier includes the photographs that have been scheduled for declassification and public release as typical for such documents. Now, however, for some reason unknown, the release has been postponed for another 50 years. Under the 30-year rule, the file should have been released on January 1st, 2021. But if the ministry get their way, it won't be released until January 1st of 2072, an 82-year closure. One UFO hunter reportedly told The Sun, by the time the world gets to see this file, the 2 witnesses will be dead. It's crazy. What are authorities trying to hide? I don't know. But yeah, anytime they like bump it up an extra 50 years,
Yeah,
there's got to be a reason.
absolutely.
Not just like they're sitting around and going, let's screw with it.
That's crazy. All I can say to that is it's 2020. Bring it.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's the perfect time.
Nothing that
think
wouldn't
anybody would
surprise
think
anyone.
twice.
Probably wouldn't even make the first page.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's expecting it any day, so just why not
Right?
throw it at this, you know?
It's
Might as well.
insanity.
Yeah. What do you got? Let's just throw it out there.
Exactly. Oh, okay. So there's an alien. That's great. All right. What's next?
No, big deal.
I didn't know what I expected. Oh well, keep going.
Yeah. That's all you got? I thought it was going to be something real interesting. Well, the next one, I'm sure everybody's seen, and I know Jason talked about it last week, I believe, for a minute there. I have the video, and I'll just warn you, there's some F-bombs in here. But it's the unedited version. It's not the whole thing, but let me pull it up here. Why is emails popping up? I don't need those. Yeah, this one is I mean, it's not funny, but it is kind of funny. Just
When you start it like that, Rob,
Right? He's already laughing, sort of.
that means I can't look at you.
no, it's the cougar that chased the guy, but it's the unedited version. That's what makes it funny. It would actually scare the crap out of me. I've been out in the woods and had wild hogs like confront me, and all I had was a bicycle to fight them off with.
Not a good situation.
Oh, speaking of which, did you see the guy that was attacked by the cougar? Or the cougar followed him for like
Yes.
a quarter mile?
This is it.
But apparently the unedited version.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Jason talked about this last week and had a little blip of it on there. But a hiker in Utah took video showing a cougar chasing him for nearly 6 minutes. Kyle Burgess, 26, said he was hiking at about 5 p.m. Saturday in Provo State Canyon Park when he saw 4 cougar cubs. Then the apparent mother of the cubs started chasing him. No, go away. Please go away. Burgess, a trail runner who was hiking alone, said he backed away from the cougar, pursuing him on the trail. At one point, Burgess says apparently he told the animal, come on, dude, I don't feel like dying today. The wildcat initially followed him at a slow but steady pace, but then lunged. He said each time he would try to pick up a rock, the animal lunged at him. He finally threw a rock at the cougar, which made him run away. My adrenaline was pumping so much, he later told NBC Salt Lake City officials. I definitely thought, yeah, I was going to get hurt. It was kind of cool, kind of exciting, but then it's like, what the hell do I do?
Yeah.
And here's part of the unedited video.
Go it. No. No. Fuck you, dude. Gosh, fuck, where's my gun? Okay. This is when I fucking die. No. Get the fuck away. Stupid kitty cat. Holy, come on, dude. I don't feel like dying today. Ah.
Right after that,
Go away.
he threw a rock at it. Once he threw the rock at it, it turned around and hauled butt. But yeah, he said every time he would go to pick up a rock, it would lunge at him. And it's, like I say, I've been stalked by some wild boars out in the woods, and it's kind of scary.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing was crazy looking. That video, it was hard to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing like had a bug up its ass. It was like intending to beat this guy, like followed him for way away from its babies,
Now, the very beginning of that video, I don't know if you have that portion of it, but I think he sees the cubs down around the corner.
Yeah.
And then one cub, I think, comes up towards him, and he starts to back up from that. And then as he walks backwards, she's actually in the woods on the left. So the cougar was actually behind him by the time he started backing back up. And the cougar's off to the left. And as he backs up, you can see the cougar start to step out of the woods.
Ah.
So it's definitely that thing had circled around and gotten behind him already.
Yeah.
It was definitely on him.
Everybody in the chat room says it wasn't showing on the screen.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
I just saw like a gray blur.
Huh.
And my phone showed a gray blur. The YouTube on my screen showed a gray blur.
Okay, well, let's play it again. It's only a couple minutes long.
All right.
Maybe it'll work this way.
There we go.
There it is.
Go away. Nope.
Nope.
No. Fuck you, dude. Holy.
Fuck you, dude.
Fuck, where's my gun? Okay. This is when I fucking die. Nope. Get the fuck away. Stupid kitty cat.
As he's running from it,
Right.
being basic prey.
Holy, come on, dude.
He needs to stop and square up at him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
He's got better composure than I would have. I will say that.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. When you're dealing with wildlife, man, it can be freaky.
Yes.
My uncle up in North Carolina, when I was growing up, I'd always go up there and stay. Like, I would stay in his basement, basically, which, it was a nice basement. It was like an apartment down there. And he's like, here you go. You got your own place, He would have all these like bear heads and deep heads and stuff everywhere. And I'd like be laying in bed and there's these big grizzly. He was a grizzly bear hunter.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I mean, he would go out on these grizzly bear hunts. And I'm like, dude, one day, one of these things is going to kill you.
Put your head up on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be laying there as a little kid laying in bed and all these animal heads are staring at me. And I'm like, this is not cool.
My uncle did that type of stuff, and he had, I don't know where he got it, but it was some sort of large cat from Africa. Somebody had gotten it, and they had it in the living room all in a pound's position, and I'd sit there and touch the teeth and pet it.
Yeah.
But it was like horrible. Like one of the rooms he had they'd have us sleep and had all the heads on the walls, and like I don't want to wake up and like see all these eyeballs. Like I'd put little stuff over the faces, hang a towel on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, taxidermy can be a little creepy, especially when you're a kid.
Yeah, I'm not cool with it. Oh, there's big. So.
Cool. I got one more video here for tonight's legends and lore story. It's kind of a creepy one in a way. And it's one of those that, I don't know. You decide if it's true or not. Tonight's legends and lore story is a rather creepy one. Have you ever heard of the Smiling Man? The story of the Smiling Man is quite an unsettling one. This modern urban legend surfaced on the web a couple of years ago. The first sighting was posted on Reddit by a young man whose name was, well, nobody knows. This reportedly happened in 2011 and is a basic recounting of the young man's experience. In his account of the story, he states that at the time he was living in a major metropolitan city. It seems that the city in question was Seattle. He described himself as a night owl and said that he had gotten into the habit of frequently taking long walks at night to pass the time and clear his head. We all know that in today's day and age, you probably wouldn't want to do that in Seattle. He had done this for close to 4 years and never had any issues, not even in the twilight hours. This is despite the fact that he lived in a major city. Although this encounter happened on a quiet night, and the street that the young man was walking on was basically devoid of cars and other people. He had already been out walking for some time, so he decided it was about time to turn around and start heading home. It was as he was turning around when he first saw the silhouette of a stranger who appeared to be dancing. More specifically, he said he looked like he was waltzing. At the time, he was slowly edging his way towards the younger man. Every 3 or 4 steps of the stranger's dance was punctuated with one step closer towards the young man. He decided that the stranger was probably drunk, and so he gave the drunk stranger a wide berth and moved to the very edge of the sidewalk to avoid any interaction. As the stranger's silhouette became more and more visible in the dim city streets, the young man realized that this odd stranger was actually moving very graceful, almost like a trained dancer, and was unlikely to be that inebriated. He noted that the stranger was unusually tall and lanky and was wearing a faded suit. As the tall stranger came closer still, he stepped under a street lamp, and the young man finally caught a proper glimpse of his face. His head was tilted backwards, his eyes were wide open, looking upwards at the sky, and he had an unnaturally large, cartoonish grin on his face. The young man, clearly and very understandably unsettled by this odd stranger, decided that he would cross the street to avoid getting too close to this clearly deranged man. So he crossed the street, and when he gets to the other side, he takes a glance back and finds the stranger gone. For a moment, the young man's relieved, but then he spots the stranger again out of the corner of his eye, on the other side of the street, directly opposite of him, with the same expression, eyes wide open, head tilted upwards, and a big ghoulish smile on his face. The young man starts to panic. He starts walking at a brisk pace, all the while keeping his eyes on this deranged stranger who doesn't move from the spot that he's standing. He glances forward only momentarily to get his bearings, and when he looks behind him again, he sees that smiling man is looking straight at him from a crouch. The two of them are now on the same side of the street again. He's shocked and doesn't understand how fast the smiling man seems to move now. He stands there in shock, and the smiling man starts to tiptoe with large steps, like the ones you see cartoon characters do when they're trying to sneak around. Except in this case, the stranger is moving very fast. For whatever reason, he doesn't just say, "Screw it," and run. He stands there and tries to scare the smiling man off by swearing at him. but apparently he was so tense that barely any sound escaped from his throat. The smiling man at this point is half a block away again, still smiling, half gazing at the sky with his head tilted backwards and the crazy smile. At this point, he slowly turns around and starts dancing away, moving the same direction as he was before. The young man watched him intently as he faded into the distance. Just as he finally started to calm down and his pulse was finally starting to get back to normal, he sees the distant silhouette of this deranged man getting larger and larger. The smiling man is not dancing anymore. He's running straight towards the young man. At this point, he basically bolts. He runs as fast as he can to an area where there was more people and a lot more car traffic, and he managed to get home safely. But he says he no longer enjoys taking long walks at night. This account of the smiling man, in fact, is not the only one, although it was the first. In fact, there is a whole subreddit dedicated to sightings of this strange, unsettling figure. As of yet, it's unclear of what or who the smiling man is. He could just be some guy hopped up on drugs or an insane person that likes to go out at night and freak people out. You be the judge of that. There's also been a short film reenacting the original sighting, which does a good job if you care to watch it. So who knows? Is the smiling man real? Is he just a deranged drunk that likes to freak people out? Or is it something more sinister? You be the judge. So yeah, who knows?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I think it's misunderstood.
Nice creepy story.
yeah, that's a great video, Rob. Dig it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I couldn't help but think I saw some of the comments with the Joker. It definitely reminded me of the Joker and the whole.
Yeah.
The Joker, definite.
You know, it's this time of year, you know, that like everybody starts seeing the weird clown like just standing there on the side of the road or something. You know, but this apparently has been going on for a while, and more than one person supposedly has seen him. So who knows, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe he's not trying to freak people out. He just has a creepy ass, face.
Maybe.
He's just happy, and as happy he looks mad.
Yeah, you never know.
He's like, I'm trying to make friends. All these people are running from me.
Yeah, I saw somebody commented that he looked like the Hamburglar. Kind of did.
It's just creepy.
Yeah.
Hamburger's kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Poor Hammer.
I would always like look at him and then be, like he's a little cartoon. He's kind of creepy though.
There was something wrong with that dude.
Yeah.
Did he make the rubble noise?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was it?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Or Ronald or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. That's pretty good.
Oh, Zach.
We started a petition. We need to bring all them back. Grimace,
Yeah.
Hamburger, Fry Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the purple one?
Grimace.
Grimace. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. The old playgrounds where you got into the Grimace that would like shake back
cage.
and forth, the cage.
Yeah.
Really dating ourselves here, aren't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all in the same club.
McDonald's is like really cool.
Those smelly ball pits that smell like kid socks.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of something else when you said that, but
When I said ball pit.
I'm glad to add the word
Nelly. I'm bad. Sorry. Well, speaking of smiling faces, I know you guys have kind of a weird little smiley face character there.
Yeah. We actually
yeah.
got some more things moved into the parlor. Last time we were with you guys. Hey, and thanks again for having us tonight. We really
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Yeah. In case everybody just joined, this is Steve and Heather from Night Among Ghosts, which are located right here in San Augustine, Florida. If you ever come to town, these are the people you want to go on a ghost tour with.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Rob. Thank you. Yeah, we have a good time. But yeah, last time we were here, we were just getting into the parlor, I believe. We hadn't been here more than a week or so. But yeah, I got some more things moved in. And this was a very interesting find. So if you can see behind Heather, we got our doll case moved in. And if you guys had been into our old parlor, that doll case was in there as well. But on the hunt for some new things, we ran into an antique store. And I had, like I said before, I had just heard the name Mike over the last few years. I don't know why the name just keeps ringing a bell, coming to mind. So I'm in this antique store, and we see this clown. And this thing's just great. I'm going to share it with you now.
I thought it'd be kind of fun to share with you guys and see intuitively what everybody kind of picks up on, as we call him. Our newest
See if that pops up.
smiling fellow.
That should pop up for you now. So there he is.
Yeah, kind of like the smiling guy.
Yeah. Great story to into that. Good job, Rob.
Now this creepy little guy,
like the Shining.
Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely creepy. So we're curious if anybody's picking up on anything with him.
Like Lord, the dolls and antique stores asking for it.
We love it. I will say that we're one of, I guess, the strange pair that, you know, we kind of think it's fascinating.
Tell me when it's gone.
We have had some movement in our doll case and some things happen over time. So, yeah, for those of you guys who had asked if they move, or no opening up the case yet, at least as far as we know.
Yeah, the case is locked generally. One of the better stories there, we had a guest. We had about 8 or 9 guests in our old parlor, and one of the doll's hair, the ribbon, was moving just ever so slightly. It would move 3 or 4 times and stop, and then it would start again. This guy got really fixated on the doll case, and Heather turns around and goes, "What am I missing?" And he said, "That ribbon in her hair keeps moving." And she said, "Oh, that's cool." So step back. I'll let you finish that story. That was a great one.
So anyway, as the ribbon's moving, you can clearly see that somebody's playing with it, but it's in the case. Everything's closed up, and so the gentleman, you can tell, just skeptic right off the bat. So he starts kind of walking at a distance around the case, and he's eyeballing the side of it and looking over the top of it. And so I kind of, I'm waiting for him to get his assessment together. And then I kind of go, I can open it for you if you like and let you take a look. There's no vents or anything. And so I go to like put the key in, and he's like, no, don't open it. It's okay. And at that point I was like, you sure you don't want to check? So yeah, pretty good little bit of movement in there on one of the porcelain dolls. So
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, as we can see in the chat room, there's a lot of people that don't really dig clowns.
That's true. We've got Bozo right here actually above us as well. He's always kind of one that people either really love or really don't like.
Now, the interesting part of that is we're actually coming up with a few exhibits to put in here. And so we're actually working on right now a new exhibit with the thought process, or the, I guess, the history of clowns and where the fear come from.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so we'll have different exhibits in here from time to time.
One of the neatest things about curating this exhibit is collecting pictures of old Victorian era clowns. And I tell you, we think our clowns are creepy today, but going through some of those, we're like, they are really creepy.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Yeah.
Like every Easter, I always like pull up pictures of the Easter bunny. Straight up evil looking. No wonder the kids are like screaming. Santa Claus too,
Absolutely. Good old Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that ate kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Too funny. Well, we've got a few things that we'll kind of share with you guys if you like, just some of our most recent things that we found. But the next one I think Steve has queued up. This is pretty cool. We ended up buying a really cool old photo album here, and it's really, really heavy. It's leather, definitely rather old. Let's see. Has an old latch here, gold leafed edges on the pages and everything. And lots of really cool, oh, I turned right there to that page. We'll show you that. But really cool old photos. And the album actually, most of the photos in there are from Massachusetts. And there are a few in there sprinkled in from Maine, and I think a couple from the Maryland area as well. But most of them dating to, the late 1800s eras, as far as we can tell. But pretty cool pictures in there. But there's a couple in there that we wanted to share with you guys and kind of get your opinion. These are the ones that caught our attention and why we actually jumped to buy this particular album.
Now I'll show it to you in the book, and then we'll get a better view. But these are the actual photos that are in the book. And so now I'll pull it up. I'll share that with you. Give me just a moment. I should share now. So this is the first photo. And then the second photo. Let's see if anybody out there, either one of those ring a bell.
And it is actually a family album from what we can tell. So that's definitely a good observation. It appears that there are quite a few people that look similar. They definitely look as if they're related. There are really no names in there aside from maybe 2 or 3 photos in the later, the end of the photo album. So we were kind of curious that this is really what caught our attention. And so these 2 girls, obviously, young girls at the time, this one really kind of, yes, absolutely. Somebody already got Lizzie Borden, we do believe. So we don't have any names on the pictures, but this album is, as I mentioned, pretty much from the Massachusetts area.
And this is a stock photo.
Yes.
Of them.
And so this you have Emma and Lizzie. Of course, Emma was the older sister. She's the one on the left. I guess that would appear on the left to these guys as well. But to us, the ears, the hairline, the face, the eyes, the shadowing around the eyes for Emma, I mean, it just was pretty remarkable. So we said, to both be in Massachusetts, it would either have to truly be them or crazy case of doppelgangers. So that would be living at the same time. So we were kind of fascinated with that. Of course, jumped at the chance to own the photo album and wanted to share it with you guys and see what you thought. So
yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, that's a cool find for sure.
Yeah, we thought
it's uncanny how much they look like them.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Thanks for the help there. Very cool.
Yeah, Ariana nailed it.
That is really cool. All right. Well, we have just a couple more things on our show and tell that we recently acquired. Thought you guys might enjoy seeing those. Do you want to do this one or this one first?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. So you're better at holding it than I am. I'm always awful.
Come towards me.
Okay.
I'm in the middle.
All right. So this is a piece that we've had for quite some time, and we typically keep it enclosed in a case. It was found in the marsh and, obviously was wet, and that's how it stayed, I guess, in such decent condition over the years. But we have had quite a few people look at it. We were in search of an old fort here on the outskirts of St. Augustine called Piccolata, and this was a few years back. And we actually found a cornerstone for the old fort, found a few pieces that were possibly native artifacts, and among those was this one. And so we're kind of trying to figure out Our personal opinion, we thought maybe some type of native doll. It's definitely very intricate. You have some, carving, almost appears to us like it kind of has a face. But we've had some other folks say that it could have been used for some sort of twine or string or something of that nature. But definitely one of the pieces that we thought was pretty cool that we got to actually keep from an archaeological excavation. So kind of a neat little piece.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all the Indians and everything else that were around here, who knows?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think at this point we're up to 10,000 years of documented Native Indian history here. So there's definitely a lot. So yeah. And then
now that fort that they went and looked for, Heather actually found the corner block for what they believed to be the fort when they were out there. So that was pretty good find for her.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
That's pretty neat.
So, yeah. Now there's signs up out there off of the St. Johns River. So definitely interesting to get to be a part of that.
Yeah.
All right. Now this is a very interesting find. If you guys like masks.
Yeah.
There's actually a pair. Go ahead and tell them what these are.
So these are pretty neat. These are African Chokwe tribe hand-carved masks. And each one is different from what we understand. They are used in a coming-of-age ritual, I believe. And they're always worn by males of the tribe. And so they are dancing masks. They would be utilized for some sort of ceremony. Pretty intricate. They all have different little features. This one actually has what appears to be some sort of like little monkey carved on the top. Has horns and kind of a burlap area around it, but definitely kind of interesting in the way they're carved. It's pretty neat here. And then Steve has one as well, so I'll kind of let him. Okay. And then this one has bamboo hair, which is really kind of neat, tied on by leather strings. And definitely a very interesting piece as well. Yeah.
So you guys really don't put those on and run around the parlor, huh?
I've seen that movie.
Yeah, we kind of are afraid they're going to suck to our faces like the mask,
Yeah.
Might be a little scary.
They have a really good vibe to them. They really do.
They're definitely interesting.
You can tell they were ceremonial, as in the fun part, not the sacrificing part.
Yeah. Hopefully so. Yeah.
Yeah, at least we think.
You got a good vibe to them.
Yeah.
Some of our more interesting things that we have in the parlor so far. So definitely grow with it.
Nice. Yeah, there's definitely some history in the town. It's like, I got friends that live, over in the UK and here and there, and they're like, oh, you guys' history is like baby history compared to here. But for here, we have some pretty interesting history.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some phenomenal history, and it's so deep and it's so intertwined. It's just amazing how much history is here. Because you have the 400 and some odd years, but it goes back a whole lot further than that. It's just it is absolutely amazing when you start to uncover and see pieces and parts.
Absolutely.
So,
it is.
as long as we've been doing this here, there's always something new that pops up.
Yeah, exactly. Have you guys had any, like, not paranormal, but just to doing tours and stuff, have you had any trouble just cruising around town? Are you still doing walking tours or what?
We're actually pretty much on foot right now still. We have a private tour that we've done a few times with private groups where we'll utilize the van, and that gets us out, to some of the farther reaching areas like the lighthouse area.
Yeah.
But mostly we've been on foot. We've had some interesting groups, definitely have had some pretty decent activity still, and that kind of thing. So we've been hitting some of our in-town spots and hidden burial grounds, of course, the St. Francis area, different spots around that we ventured. The fort, the Castillo, which is always kind of a obviously a really cool area to go to. So
Yeah.
things. And then we've recently had a couple of investigations over at the Ximenez-Fatio House.
Yeah.
We were here last time. I think we were just planning on that and getting those started.
Yeah, I believe so.
So we had our first one, which was really cool.
It was. So the Ximenez-Fatio House, I think we'd mentioned last time, dates to 1798 when it was constructed, built by a wealthy Spanish merchant, Andres Ximenez. And it has, changed hands not as many times as you would expect for a home that old. So they do have quite a bit of the history intact there. We're learning, more, but even on the first investigation, we actually had 3 different encounters. We had an encounter with Andres Ximenez himself, Ximenez-Fatio, who was one of the sisters of the second half of the name, the Fatio House. And we also connected with a little girl by the name of Madison, who at the time we were trying to figure out age, and I think we had gotten a response that said either 9 or almost 9. So this past Saturday night, we revisited and investigated with a crew and ended up reconnecting with Madison, reconnecting with Miss Sophia Fatio, and actually connected with a new person, Mrs. Margaret Cook, who was kind of interesting as well. So had some really good activity.
Now, Madison, we believe, is the one on the last show we were on with you guys. We showed you the little girl on the balcony.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, we were able to get confirmation that that's who that was. And then the other night, we actually got confirmation that she was 8.5, we believe, which was kind of neat. So,
wow.
If you guys ever get a chance to see the Ximenez house, whether it's investigative or not, even during the day, the place is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And hats off to the crew over there. They're just all of them
absolutely
are just great. They really know it up and down. And what was really cool is we had them there the night. Obviously, we were doing the investigation, and the house is so old. Everything in there is so old. They keep somebody with you all the time. They don't want anything disturbed or anything like that. But it was really neat seeing their reaction when the first bits of the investigation started coming together, and we got Mr. Ximenez himself. Their reaction was phenomenal because you could tell all the puzzle pieces fit right together.
Yeah.
Really cool seeing it from their perspective as well.
Absolutely.
Because there's still tons that we don't know. She's phenomenal at research and stuff, but there's just still so much we don't know about that.
Always learning, right?
Yeah.
Always learning. But
Yeah.
So that's kind of been our most recent things. And then this Saturday night, we're looking forward to, we're taking over the St. Augustine Lighthouse. So that's going to be really neat. We're taking a really small crew in of 13 investigators, and we're going to have, a whole night there. Not only the grounds, the park, the tower, and also the keeper's house.
The basement.
So
the basement.
So we're really excited with that.
Now, to any of our, I think we mentioned last time we were here, we're getting into some of the bigger events, and the Ximenez house was kind of the tip of the iceberg for that. So now the lighthouse we just added, and again, we're only taking 13 investigators with us. There'll be 2 of us and 2 helpers, and that's all that's going in. The lighthouse is great no matter when you go. The Dark of the Moon is great. You have 30, 40 people in there. It's great to be in there at night, really cool to see. You can get some things every once in a while, but with 13 of us plus a handful in there, I think it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. So hopefully we'll have some really, really cool evidence to share with you guys from there. So it's been a hot spot over the years. So.
Yeah. And speaking of the lighthouse, in here, in the parlor, we actually had a crew in here the other night investigating with us. We've brought in about 5 different crews with us in here to kind of see if we can stir things up in here. And the other night we had a lady that mentioned, she said, I keep hearing the word Peter, keep hearing the name Peter. Can't figure that out. So we said, we may have an idea. Let's figure that out. So we got the box out, and Peter Rasmussen from the lighthouse was actually here with us.
Oh, wow.
Yes, in the parlor. That was awesome. That
was really cool.
So he was here. He connected with us. We qualified it with a few things and hit the nail. So she figured it out. That was really great.
Yeah.
But she had tied that together. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
he was here. So Peter Rasmussen, if you guys don't know, lighthouse keeper.
Longest standing lighthouse keeper, 24 years that he held the reins over at the St. Augustine Lighthouse. So really cool guy. Our cigar smoking gentleman that we encounter quite a bit over at the park area.
Yeah. You guys ever come on tour with us out that way or come to one of the events? He smokes a couple of different flavors, and we never tell you because we want you to figure out what it is if it happens.
Now I know Rob's encountered him, obviously.
Yep.
But it's kind of one of those things that's really cool when you figure that out. So
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
The lighthouse is definitely one of my favorite spots for sure. And that a couple of years ago when Grant Wilson came here and did that thing at the lighthouse, I went to that, and like you say, there was like, I don't know, there's like 30 people or so, and it's noisy, it's crazy and all that. Somehow I managed to get in the lighthouse with the lights out all the way to the top by myself.
Oh wow,
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I'm like, the whole time I'm thinking, I can't believe nobody else is coming in here. What's happening? But yeah, I went in at first, and
that's awesome.
I got like halfway up, and I'm thinking, I didn't know I was halfway up. I'm like, okay, I got to be getting close to the top. And then it's that sign, you have reached the halfway point. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
You're like, do I go farther or not?
Yeah. I think we've got about 2.5 hours in the tower and the grounds, and we're going to spend another 2 hours or so in the park across the street again.
Yeah.
So, and we know how off the chain that park can be sometimes. Actually brought with us a few photos that we've gotten from the lighthouse from time to time. A lot of times we like to share our guest photos, but these are pretty slick, and I want to show you guys. I want to share these with you guys. And this is all Heather here. Let's see. I'll share it over to you. This first one, this is in the tower itself, obviously, but you can see the two orbs going in different directions, and almost like they're chasing each other, going up the tower.
Yep. That's like looking up.
Yeah. Great shot right there. And that was actually on one of the Dark of the Moon tours. From what I remember.
Actually, it was. So that was with a pretty large group. I think the night that we went, there was 45 people on there, and it was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of history and interesting things.
But like you said, you get those moments where everybody else is doing something different.
Yeah. And I've actually still never climbed the tower, so I don't know if that's going to happen this Saturday night. I kind of told Steve, worst case, I'll take a crew part of the 13 and go somewhere if I don't get brave enough. I've never climbed it, so I'm terrified of heights and don't have a whole lot of depth perception. So
maybe we can hold.
When I was in there, I had my video camera, and I left everything else down, and I was standing at the bottom of the steps going, I can't do this. Like, there's no way I can do this. And then I'm in here by myself. I gotta do this.
Yes. That's all.
Did it,
Yeah, my fear is if I get up there, what if I can't get down? If I get up there and panic,
I
I
was hugging the wall the whole time.
Exactly. I'll be like sliding down on my bottom, like step by step.
Yeah.
Now,
maybe.
Now this next photo, if you guys are familiar with the lighthouse, this is obviously the front of the keeper's house, and you can see the stairs. This photo is pretty cool. During our years over at the lighthouse, we've come across a young child, and his name's Robert. And let's tell them about Robert a little bit.
So Robert's 5. We've tried to delve into some history with him. Being that he is a young child, we don't get a lot of response as far as who he's related to or that type of thing. But we have encountered him several times throughout the years. We have 2 photographic captures of him that we're aware of. And then we've had, some encounters with him quite frequently. Yeah. In fact, not too long ago, I think it was back in, it was a few months back. I guess it was back in March, maybe February, before all of the COVID stuff. But we were out there with a tour, and we had everybody with the glow necklaces so we can kind of keep up with everybody and see everybody out there in the dark. And across the park, I see this purple glow necklace just, running. And so I'm trying to catch up with the person running, and I'm like, you okay? Who's running? What's going on? at that point, one of the young guests on tour just said, I saw a little boy, I saw a little boy. And, she's kind of freaking out. And so it's like, it's okay. I'm coming to you. Just stop right there. And so when we get over to her, she's describing this young fellow. And I'm like, does he look like this? And he pulled up the picture and she said, that's him, I think. And so we went back to the spot where he had been, and she kind of described that he was playing around the tree area and that it, just kind of freaked her out all of a sudden. But we got her to go back, and we didn't see Robert again, but it was kind of interesting that she did.
And that was in the park area as well. Now this photo right here, it was a little dark. We had to lighten it up a little bit, so it's a little bit grainy. But I want to see if you guys can see him. He's actually playing hide and go seek. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but on some of our tours, we actually asked some of the spirits to play hide and go seek with us. I think we mentioned this last time with Molly. Great photo capture. We got a Molly hiding behind a pole that she was actually climbing. So this little guy is ducked behind this tree. And see if you can see him. Like I said, this would have to be enlarged a little bit, and it's a little grainy, but a little bit of his hair, a little bit of his face, and he's kind of just tucking out from behind that tree right there. And the next one I'll show you. Again, this is the front of the lighthouse. And again, this is a separate night, and he's playing hide and go seek. Now, this photo had not been lightened at all, but I want to see if you can see him tucked down behind the bell there. One knee up, one hand out, and face, and the dark hair again. You guys see him there?
Oh, yeah, right on the
Try to zoom
back. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. There's his face. There's his hand. He's kneeling down, got one knee up higher, just crouched down behind that bell.
Yeah, we found over the years that, the children typically, I should say spirits in general, when we get out and we act silly, we play hide and seek, duck, duck, goose, charades, get different things out there. You can really kind of, sometimes get that energy built up and get everybody to acting silly, and definitely helps. So kind of interesting with that.
I saw a couple of people say it's too small still. So what we'll do is we'll get, I'll get something better to zoom in on, and then we'll be able to work into these photos a little better, a little deeper. Yeah. But yeah, that's a pretty slick photo there. This one here, I'll zoom in.
This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, this was a great one. This is the maintenance building over the lighthouse. And everybody, see if you can chime in, see if you see this guy right there in the window pane. Yeah. He's got long hair. He's kind of bald right here at the top. You see his eyes, real droopy eyes, older, a little bit of a beard, kind of a big beard right through there. So we did some research, and what is really great about trying to tie this together sometimes is actually finding them. We have another group of photos we're going to show you guys next time where we did the research and actually found them. So we did this with this guy right here, and he was actually a lighthouse keeper and from the 1800s.
Yeah, Burns Olcott. And he actually finished his career at Ponce Inlet, but he was here for a time, so.
And he's got a cat.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, the first time you showed me this picture, you didn't say anything about the cat, and I was looking at, I'm looking at this part of the picture, and I'm thinking it looks like the dude from Harry Potter. What's his name? The big guy.
Right.
Oh yeah, Haggard.
Yeah, Haggard. Yeah. And then you showed me this picture, and I'm like, yeah, it looks like. Holy crap! There's a cat in his beard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't mention the cat at first. A lot of times we wait to see if people realize. But what's really cool is look at the eye shape and the nose shape, and of course the beard. And his hair looks to be maybe a little bit long. But this is just a really great capture.
Yeah.
The eyes, the droopy eyes, the bigger nose, the beard, and then the hair.
Yeah.
The bald top. And of course, this photo, you don't know if he's balding or not.
Yeah.
But definitely just a phenomenal capture there.
Yeah.
I like it.
And like for the people in the chat room, I don't know how it's coming out if you're watching this on a phone or whatever, but I've seen this picture in person, and it's like, there's no doubt there's something standing there.
It's hard to get it to translate.
Like I said, I'll work on finding a better program to share these pictures.
Yeah. So definitely kind of a fun thing we've had. And then the other thing as far as what we've done recently is we mentioned our parlor. So we're in the process of researching our location over here at 76 Spanish in St. Augustine. So if you're ever around, definitely come check us out. But we sit on the old part of the old Spanish Dragoon barracks area. And there's been some interesting finds that tie to that. And then right behind us on the same property is a house that dates to 1840. And we've encountered a spirit so far tied to that house, whose name is Emily. And we have an old, believed to be one of the oldest wells in St. Augustine underneath the midsection of our building that they found in an archaeological dig back in 2015. So
yeah, we'll get some research done. We'll get some photos up of some of that we found. So it's pretty phenomenal. The well, I believe they had mentioned that in the late 1800s or so, it was actually carved out deeper and further, and they lined it with coquina and made a cool storage out of it.
yeah.
So we're hoping to get some photos from the archive of all that, literally right under our feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Probably one of the strangest things we've had happen so far. We had a group in here one night, and we're all sitting around, kind of in a circle, and that area is vacant because it's kind of in the middle of the floor, and you just feel like somebody underneath the building, just literally just I don't know how
There
they
was
even did
one
it.
single thump. It just boom, and everybody felt it in their feet.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we had the investigation going on at the time. It was the strangest thing. I've never felt anything that vivid, like that hard. You hear a knock every once in a while, that kind of thing, but that was very vivid that everybody heard. So it was weird. It definitely was weird.
Yeah, I was just going to bring this up. And as Ariana said, talking about investigating the dead people in the road, I was out with you guys one night. You remember that?
Yeah.
And it was the road right over from Abilene. It was the next one where they had dug up. They were doing something and they unearthed, remains.
Absolutely.
And we were standing out there, running the ghost box and doing stuff. And some tourists walked up and they're like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" And we told them and said, "Yeah, there's, dead people under here." And they were like, "Okay." Get out of there.
I thought you were going a different direction with that story. Now, there's been 2 times we've been out on tour and come across up to a dead person.
A deceased person. Yeah. So that's happened a couple times
That's
in the
happened
last
twice now.
year and a half.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Nothing creepier on a ghost tour.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely one of those where you're like,
really?
how do we, you don't necessarily want your guests to see that, we're like,
Yeah.
No, that's happened twice, unfortunately.
But yeah, the people on the road, definitely.
You actually found a dead person?
Yes.
Yeah, one we pulled up to.
I missed this story.
Yeah, one we pulled up to over close to the lighthouse, and he was just laid out in the road.
Wow.
And you don't know. I mean, so we called the police real quick and hung around till the police got there, and they walked over to him. Of course, we had guests in the car, so we're like, as soon as they showed up, we're like, okay, the dude's probably sleeping, he's probably drunk. Let's not worry about it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
And then the other one was right in the middle of town at one of the B&Bs, and she unfortunately just decided to sit down. Probably didn't feel good. Just decided to sit down, and she literally looked like she just fallen asleep.
That was last year during Nights of Lights, and we were doing a
Nights of Lights ghost tour. She was still sitting up.
Yeah,
and the police were there.
Yeah,
and they were trying to get the coroner there. One of them was trying to get back to his vehicle. I'm assuming to get some kind of a sheet or something, but she's just like she had just fallen asleep. Bless her heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Totally sad when that happens. Hopefully, no more of that.
Yeah, I mean that's makes for a ghost tour for this.
Yeah, definitely. That is for sure.
Wow.
But the people under the road there, that was pretty interesting. That is the Los Remedios cemetery, and they do believe now that they date back to the late 1500s, early 1600s. And I saw somebody had asked if they investigated. We have done some paranormal investigation over there, but they've also done some archaeological investigation. And one of the things they did was DNA testing and carbon dating. And they were actually able to find that, they sampled 3 different burials there. One was female, 2 were male. And something really kind of cool that they found out is that of the 3 burials, literally right there side by side, one of them was Spanish, one was Greek, and one was African. And that's really kind of interesting to think about. So, kind of cool.
Now, they had to actually remove the 3 of them because of a water issue. You guys all know we got flooded in Matthew severely. Town got flooded. So after that, they put in a big thing to help relieve all of that a little easier. But whatever system they were putting in, those 3 had to be removed, from what we understand. So they won't go back, but they do have them, and they're still looking, testing, and researching on them. But yeah, it's really, really neat. Now, a lot of people don't really realize, but that actually goes from the road, actually goes under the building at 1 King Street. So 3/4 of the building at 1 King Street is actually a cemetery underneath there.
Yep.
I will say I saw a comment just then I couldn't help but laugh, and it's really morbid and probably not the thing to laugh at. Somebody said, "Bring out your dead," and how they were definitely more used to it. So I saw a funny meme the other day talking about the perfect Halloween costume for this year is dressing up, in costume and having your wheelbarrow and bring out ye dead, as you go down the street. Sorry.
Perfect. Yeah.
Pretty morbid COVID
Yeah,
costume.
it is. But definitely couldn't help but laugh at that. Gotta laugh, right?
Wasn't that
If not,
Monty
we'll go
Python?
crazy.
Wasn't that Monty Python?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Yep. But apparently it was real too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Cool doing some research about some of this. We did a blog in the beginning of this, and Heather compared the pandemic that we were starting to have, compared it to the pandemic in 1918. And the cool thing is there's some actually pictures of women, children walking through the streets with masks on, which was really cool. No one ever thought about that until obviously this happens.
Yeah.
But it's really neat seeing how that happened then, and some of the reality of not a lot's changed.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Still the same looking mask too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if people thought about masks back then.
Probably.
Makes you wonder.
Probably. Yeah. You can't come in here without a mask, but it's my right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably shot it out over it at that point.
Let's
More
do
so
it.
than they do now.
So speaking of downtown again, do you guys know any other information or anything about supposedly what they found under the monument downtown? Have you heard any more about that?
We've heard a little bit, but it's been very buttoned up.
Yeah, hasn't it?
And the fact that the archaeological staff was brought in, that, definitely, and then it kind of all stayed fenced for the whole time they were working. So
Yeah.
kind of interesting, and it wasn't a very visible fence. Like over where they're at the mission grounds, you can watch them work. They don't have it partitioned off.
Yeah, this
so-
was actually screened off to where you couldn't see in with what was going on. And the tents they had were very low to the ground.
Yeah.
Very low to the ground.
Yeah. So I'm curious. We're hoping that something gets released, but who knows?
Yeah, that was a whole little bit of shadiness going on there. Yeah. I was going down there every morning really early and taking pictures of the whole process. And I had somebody come up to me and tell me that I couldn't take pictures. And I'm like, I'm on a public sidewalk. Why can't I take pictures? No, you can't take pictures. And I've heard that from a few different people. They were told if they took pictures, they were going to be arrested. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm in the right on this,
How does that work?
Who was it that told you that?
It was one of the police officers that was down there, one of the city policewoman.
That's really weird. Yeah, we'll have to ask about that.
Well, we're still curious as well, the Loring monument that they removed under the cover of night,
Instantly.
instantly. And there were definitely remains under there, and his broken swords, which were buried with him. So
And we've heard 2 different stories. One person told us that the family had been trying to do that for the last 5 years. Another person told us that it was a complete surprise to the family. I'd like to see what the reality is there.
Yeah.
My question is, did the remains stay or did they move them? So,
Yeah.
because they haven't been vocal about that either. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally done just overnight.
yeah.
Like I said, I was going down there every morning and taking pictures of the Confederate monument. And, I went around the corner there, turned left, heading over to King Street, and I'm driving by and I look over and I'm like, holy crap, the thing's gone, and it was there the night before.
Absolutely.
I had to make a circle and come back just to make sure I wasn't seeing things. I'm like, man, they switched this fully out in the middle of the night,
Absolutely. It was. And they resodded. I mean, the next night for tour, it was like it never existed.
Yeah.
And everything. So
Yeah, that was just crazy.
Yeah,
Weird.
definitely.
Shadiness.
Yeah, definitely with 2020.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We've had our definite share of debates, disturbances, and protests going on, and they seem to be getting a little more radical as they go.
Yeah, they do.
yeah, we'll see for sure.
Yeah.
So, have you got a hard break coming up?
Yeah, I can run a little commercial here that's gonna.
After the break, you guys want to do a ghost box session?
Yeah.
I think I saw a couple of people ask, but we kind of had that in mind. You guys want to run one?
Yeah.
And y'all's in?
I got one hooked up here.
All right. Cool.
Good deal.
So I'll run this little commercial reel and we will come back.
All right. Get it.
This is Jason Bland, host of Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup, where we stream live as a webcast every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, with guests who will blow your mind. Live ghost box sessions where you can call into the show to see if the spirits will talk to you, and the world wide web of weird with the latest in paranormal news and evidence. We're bringing the weird every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.
Do you like rock and roll? Do you enjoy a good story? Wish You Were Here, A Rock Fantasy is a book inspired by Badfinger. It will not only entertain you, but intrigue you. What's it about? While Thomas is searching for his bandmate and friend in heaven, he meets an old friend and famous new ones in his afterlife voyage. Reader's favorite hails Wish You Were Here, A Rock Fantasy as a whimsical, speculative novel by author Joyce Isaacson. Midwest Book Reviews said, Wish You Were Here, A Rock Fantasy is a book inspired by Badfinger. It's a quirky story by Joyce S. Isaacson. It is a unique, original, and deftly crafted metaphysical novel that showcases the author's genuine flair for character and narrative-driven entertainment that is simply riveting from first page to last. Now available on pennantpublication.com. Also available on Amazon in paperback and hardcover. Also on Kindle Unlimited. So check it out now. Wish You Were Here, A Rock Fantasy.
The night is alive. Join us and take a walk on the weird side when you tune in to The Kingdom of Nye, hosted by Heather Wade, the finest in late night talk. Listen live free weeknights starting at 9 p.m. Pacific time at thekingdomofnye.com, talkstreamlive.com, and the Paranormal Radio app. Wanna take a ride?
And we're back. Somewhat, sort of. I got everything muted. Hold on. There we go. Now I can hear you.
Can you hear us now?
Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah, said Steve sneaking back in.
I was trying to unmute Jamie, and it says you can't unmute Jamie because she has to unmute herself. So yeah, we can do a little ghost boxing, and we can maybe even throw a few cards in if you guys want to do that. What do we have? We got about 45 minutes left, so you got me. It was working earlier. Now what's going on? I see. Technical difficulties. Hold on for just a minute. Take the show.
All right, where did Jamie go? You got that cool picture up there.
Yeah.
You know, you think you have everything all fixed and everything's working, and then it just all goes to hell.
It was working earlier. We heard it. It sounded good.
Yeah, it sounded great, didn't it?
In that test run you had.
Okay. For some reason, my battery went dead. That was fully charged. You know how that goes, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That could be good.
Yeah, it could be good.
It means we have some eager folks to talk.
Yeah. So let me see if I can find the right cord. This is what's always fun about a live show when everything goes to hell, you know?
It's part of it. We're good though.
Put the technical difficulties aside.
So we'll keep things moving here. We got lights coming to St. Augustine starting November 14th and going through the end of January. If you guys aren't familiar with Nights of Lights, it is 3.5 million lights, white lights wrapped around the city. It's phenomenal. It's really, really pretty.
And we're doing a ghost tour called Spirited Nights of Light.
Yes.
So it actually is a haunted holiday tour, which is kind of cool.
It's a ghost walk under the lights. Starts out at our parlor here. And we're actually going to have s'mores and hot chocolate and coffee that goes with it. So it's a great one. We did it last year in the van. It was pretty good. But this year we'll be walking because we're right in town now. So we can actually walk right out the front door. And our building actually has lights on it. So we're right in the middle of all of it now.
Yeah. And then the other thing, while they're kind of working through their technical stuff, if you're in St. Augustine and want to do something fun, we've just added a new component that's getting ready to start in a couple weeks, but it's called Witchcrafts. And you can actually come in and make a candle and put an intention to it, soy wax candles. And we're going to have all sorts of fun, different crafts like that you can do. But we're starting out with a candle bar that you can come in and really scent those candles, design them the way you want to, and add your own intention to it.
And if you can't make it to St. Augustine, we'll have custom orders. You guys pick out what you want. We'll make the candle and ship it to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's called Witchcraft, WHICH craft. So
yeah,
it'd be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, the scavenger hunts are going well. So we've got a ghostly scavenger hunt. If you guys, anybody's going to be around in October. That one we do all year round, but it just fits a little better through the month of October. But it's a ghost hunt scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. People seem to love that one a lot. Of course, our history one, we're rewriting it. We've got 2 that are coming out. And then what's the new? Oh, Frat and Fancy is the new one. It's a bar crawl. And then we're doing a ghostly bar crawl version as well. So that's some of the new ones coming from the 13 Keys.
Absolutely.
Yep. And so our websites, anitemonghost.com, the13keys.com, and now the oddmacabrecompany.com will get you to the parlor.
Yeah.
And they all intertie to each other.
Yeah.
And then while we're still having to make talk, let's keep going. They're still working. So you can also, ghostlifeparanormal.com. We've got new shirts up and some new things. And then she's decked out in the new A Night Among Ghosts, St. Augustine shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie's back.
Yay.
She's still muted.
Had a Wi-Fi issue.
Rob's
Where's
having
Rob?
he's having a technical difficulty, so we're trying
So we're
to
just filling in.
See, we both get it at
Still
the
here.
same time. I've been dealing with an issue on my
Oh,
end.
no.
It's all right. We've been throwing some advertisements out there. And I feel
Is that your box you got going?
Ghost Box coming up.
Okay,
Yay.
I'm back.
I was gone
Yeah,
too.
see?
dealing
We ran
my
with it.
Wi-Fi.
We just ran with it. And there's some advertising.
Good. Save the day. Yep.
They
Nothing
held
like
down the
throwing the guest
fort.
under the bus. Hey, you guys can take it away.
Yeah.
You can call it that.
Animal. No.
Yeah, the ghost box was working perfect, and then all of a sudden the battery was dead. And it had all 5 lights on it at the beginning of the show.
Well, we always
Yeah.
got to expect at least one problem.
So it's plugged in directly to the wall now. Yeah, you guys are messing with me, huh? Appreciate it.
Keeping you on your toes.
Yeah. Nothing like having to move the whole green screen, you know, to get an extension cord from up there. I know you guys just like to see the fat guy stress out, right?
Hello.
Extremely hard.
That was weird.
Yeah, we get some kind of a rated
Yeah.
RX.
Yeah.
He has a succubus, I think, around him. Real horny female.
It never fails, no matter what I run.
To my own. That's We're going to do what I'm.
Easy.
Might as well throw the call-in line up. If anybody wants to call in and ask your own questions to the ghost box, there's a number scrolling on the bottom of the screen. We'll try it. Can't guarantee it's going to work, but we'll try it.
For that time you on the
I heard go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
before.
So is there anybody that has any messages for us this evening?
There's even right. I think you're the
Men's.
Hey, Rose and Chad.
All right, later on, Zach. Thanks for hanging out. In the spirit today, bye to
some
Zach.
of your get rid of.
Nice, Zach.
Hey, food.
You'll leave, Zach, and they'll start saying your name.
Direction and motivation for yeah, they're good. Yeah.
Do you have all 4 on?
Right now, you're channel 1 and 2.
Unlike
Please, but not like today and one.
Oh,
Raw wants
veil's
to know.
thin as hell right now.
Raw wants to know if there's going to be an earthquake.
God. Go off. So
Let's
go.
That's like a future telling question.
Yeah.
And we're always having earthquakes.
Yeah.
Like little ones, little tremors, little swarms. Now we're gonna have a detrimental,
So that I can.
Hello, who do we have?
I don't know. Who is it?
I know exactly who it is because I know your number now.
I don't know who it is, though.
No?
Hey, guys. Debbie.
How's it going, Debbie?
Good, good. Just got home.
Nice.
Yeah. Mike Cobra, you know.
Yep.
Nobody else was calling in, so I was like, hey, why not?
There you go. Got some questions for the spirits?
Hi, spirits. How's it going? Say hello and see if you have any messages for me tonight.
I think I just heard somebody say, I do.
You know they always do.
Yeah, they do.
Spirit.
Spirit.
clear.
No.
Five.
Is there somebody that has some messages for Debbie?
Been unhealthy or leave.
Why did that let him out?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Spirit.
Tricky. Five.
Listen.
You sure rewind it when I put it back a minute ago?
Get rid of some.
Get rid of something.
I heard that too.
Right now, there's raccoons fighting in my backyard. Do I need to get rid of them?
No, they're sweet. Throw them an apple.
Milk. Give them some milk, Debbie.
Like, hey, it's sad, man. Why can't we all just get along?
We can.
When you're say.
What about the moat? I think I just heard that.
But not like
What's that? Like
Get him.
9.
a slurp noise?
Get them.
3.
May take.
Spirit, personal question for me. What do you think I should do next as far as my spiritual journey? Do you think I should start doing readings, or do you think I should stick with doing healings and then, down the road healing?
Time.
Best.
Right after you said
Meditate on
that, right after you said that, it sounded like they were talking to each other. I swear I heard one of them say, like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool when you get that crossover like that and you hear interacting with each other.
Oh, it's seriously, like, I'm trying to figure it out for myself because I've done readings in the past.
You need
But
to
I
meditate on it just in a really, really quiet place. Just let your mind go crazy, and you're gonna know. You're gonna know yourself.
Yeah, I've been doing that for like 4 months now, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm
It'll come.
literally, I know I can do readings. I know I can connect. I know I have intuitive, powers, and I know sometimes I can get mediumship stuff, but I really, like, lately have been drawn to doing my healing for myself.
Well,
But
that's
I want to
so.
incorporate the healing that I've experienced for a year and a half for myself. I want to incorporate that into helping other people. So I don't know whether I should do that just in healings or if I should start doing.
Sometimes we do have to take time out for ourselves to get ourselves straight. Like when I take my little breaks and then I work on my own spiritual journey, and then you're able to then invest the time into helping other people.
Right. I want to hear what you have to say on that,
We're
though.
here to say help.
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows what happens when you have a guy on the show that does a group meditation. Rob falls asleep during the show.
Yeah,
But
Hey, I was honestly meditating, and I felt better when I woke up.
I believe in divine timing, and it just might not be the time right now. But just sit with your thoughts and just let your mind do what it's gonna do and figure out. And you're just going to know. You're just gonna know. And when the time is right.
Right, girl. You're right. Well, thank you, Spirit.
Have any last messages for Debbie?
Just anything.
It's different, like a custom.
All right. Well, thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you,
calling.
Rob. Thank you very much.
Celebrate.
Yeah, we had a guest on Paranormal Soup, and he did a group meditation. And at first, I was kind of like, I don't know if this is going to work or not. And like, I'll just give it my all. And he was like, some people might, nod off. I'm the one that nodded off live on the show.
I was like looking. I'm like, trying to buzz him like, Rob,
You're like, Rob,
you're sleeping, man.
Jamie
I was
texting me.
scrambling my brain because I didn't want the guy messing with talking about moving my bulging discs and rearranging. I'm like, he's not doing nothing to me. So I'm scrambling. And then Rob has his hat down and he's just like,
yeah. That's pretty good.
Totally into it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was
he
like,
was
I'm
relaxed.
gonna give him 10, 15 minutes of I'm gonna give it my all. And I was like concentrating, listening to him. And when he said close your eyes, it was done for me.
Absolutely. No, I get it totally. I love meditation things, ASMR, that type of thing. But it typically puts me to sleep too. So
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a weird question for you. Talking about meditating. So I've had anxiety for the last, probably 10 years now. It just came up all of a sudden, nowhere. But been dealing with it pretty well. But I've got a quick meditation question for you guys. Anybody that can help me with this thought process as to why this happens. I know this sounds crazy.
No idea.
It sounds crazy, but when at night I lay down to meditate, I can feel when I'm anxious. I can feel anxiety now. I know what the symptoms are. I know when it's coming on. So I can lay down and have a couple of audio things that I listen to slow down and to meditate. But as I start to drift a little deeper, I will actually start like gagging and coughing.
Yeah.
And it is the craziest thing. And I wish I could see everybody's reactions right now because they're like, what the hell are you talking about? But I've read up on, I found a few weird things about it. And somebody had mentioned that it was possibly a third eye that was clogged or something. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I'm just asking if anybody knows, because the little bit of research that I've been able to do, that's all I found. And it's the weird thing, but I've seen
Early could be that you're releasing something right then. And what, I don't know if that's my feedback or if we have another call.
Or is that the box? Are they trying to maybe help?
But I believe in like when I'm having the anxiety and I'm meditating, something that I do when I feel it come on is, and I hold it in and then blow it, and as you feel like that anxiety wash over you, you grab it and you blow it out. So you might not be processing that energy properly either.
That makes sense.
Okay.
That same thing happened to me too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Where you start to like get stopped up on it.
Yeah, I'll
like the gag reflex. Just all of a sudden, the gag reflex just hits, and you're like,
yeah.
You know, it's coming there. You okay? And I'm like, I guess.
I'm just trying to meditate.
But I start watering. It just looks like a gag reflex. But
yeah,
and you'll just I cough a few times. But when I do that and get it out, then I feel better. And then it'll take a little longer, and then I do it again. Then it'll take a little longer, and do it again. And finally, I'm to the point where I'm passed out at that point. But it doesn't do it anymore. But it's really weird.
If you've got a reclining chair too, because I know, that position is a really good position for, lining everything and moving energy and all. But to start out, maybe having like your chair up when you're doing it, and then the next session go a little further back and a little further back also, and like ease into it.
Yeah, I'll try that. Thank you.
I think we have another caller. Is there somebody on the line right now?
Hello.
Hi, Rob.
Hey.
Hi, it's Laura Wolf.
Hey, how's it going, Laura?
Good. I was sitting back, just ready to just type out what the spirit box says. But if they're having problems with anxiety and stuff, why don't we pull my son Cameron on, and he can help them out.
Restlessness. Easy, I might say. One day, with anxiety.
Anxiety, did you hear that?
Yeah.
What a day with anxiety.
Wow.
Throat chakra.
Antidepressants.
And I'm just gonna pretty much even.
Spirits, what were you saying about anxiety?
And went. Sit. It helps you.
I heard sit, it helps you.
What's going to help him?
Come on.
Over time. Easy.
Over time.
10. And rest a while.
Can you tell us what helps with anxiety?
Cameron, name a medication. Or something natural he could do.
Just knows that rest. I'm out. Positivity.
It almost sounded like pot, but that was too late after the question.
That's what I use for anxiety now. Prescription.
I don't know. I heard antidepressants early on in here, so I don't know if and I'm sorry that I don't remember your name. But the man was asking about it, who's the guest. Are you on any antidepressants, or would you need some?
Actually, I've got a long story there.
For anxiety.
Wow. I took Xanax for, God, Barbie, 2 or 3 years, very light dosage, I thought. And as I realized I was actually taking more than I thought, had to get off of it completely. So finally I did. That was 3 weeks of absolute hell to get off of that. So finally made it through that. And the best thing that I've done so far is exercise. I've gotten rid of the anxiety, but the weird part is with the meditation, I have that gag reflex. So it's really weird.
And that's the only time that it does it. So I tend to agree that it's something clogged, as somebody might have mentioned.
Yeah, Debbie was mentioning a few things.
Yeah,
The throat chakra.
stuff. Yeah, that's really good advice.
Okay, I'll keep listening for names of medications, or if he says something, herbal or Eastern or Western medication, stuff like that. He's very well versed. Memories and stuff like that. And
there's a lot of foods like blueberries and yogurt and things like that help with anxiety also, to add into your diet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I believe apple cider vinegar helps a little bit as well.
Yep.
So I've been doing that now for 3 years. So every morning.
I quit the medications too and went just to my meditation and some CBD and some pot, and then changing my diet.
Yeah.
Medications are rough for sure.
Yeah, I mean they work.
They sure are.
Once you get on them,
my
man.
son over. As well as most of my family. Okay. All right, I'll just keep an eye out to hear any medical terms then this week.
Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that.
Okay, no problem. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
You too.
Well, thank you, all of you guys, for the comments and stuff on that. I really appreciate it. See if we can't get that worked out.
Yeah, I was on some medications too, and they're hard to get. They're a damn nightmare.
Yeah, it's rough. I was only taking a quarter of a 5 milligram. I mean, I was taking just very little, and just the doctor told me I have a high medicine metabolism.
Yeah.
High tolerance.
Yeah, it doesn't take much medicine at all to do what it needs to do. But I was only trying to come off with just a little bit of like an eighth of a pill, and it was rough.
Yeah.
Really.
Wow.
So anybody out there starting to deal with anxiety, stay away from the medicines.
Yeah, that it just puts you in a fog. It's made to shut you down. Dr. Oz did a whole brain scan showing a lit up brain, and when you take the Xanax, all the green lights were off except two little faded lights at the base of your brain, which is basically like the on running light on your computer standby, to keep you alive. And that's just terrifying, the way it just shuts you down.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One of the craziest things that 2 or 3 weeks I had to go through to get off of that, one of the most memorable things of that was a pleasant memory of all that, was I was coming off of that, gotten through most of the symptoms. I was looking at it like a clock, just watching, okay, this one's next, getting through them all. got to the end, and I was reading about starting to draw. Just pick up a pen, start drawing anything.
Yep.
Crazy thing was, I started drawing, just doodling, and I could literally feel all of my brain just like energize, like it was crossing over. It was amazing feeling.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's giving me goosebumps thinking about it now. It was amazing to feel that, just all of a sudden everything start working and clicking, and the fog that you were in, like you mentioned, you're just in a state of fog all the time.
Yeah.
I keep my coloring stuff here. Rob's got his stuff. A lot of us, and that's what we do. Like when we have to focus, is just start drawing and doodling and things. And
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it, but
yeah, when I was having issues with that, I was like, just all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm going to start painting, and I just went and got the stuff and started doing it. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely a freeing feeling.
That's cool.
That's really cool. You hadn't painted any presidents in precarious positions or anything, have you?
Yeah.
The famous pictures that are coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't painted like 4,000 pictures this year.
Right, exactly. Start painting a little bit.
Absolutely.
no, just like red and black smears all over the place.
Yeah, automatic writing's really cool.
Somebody mentioned automatic writing.
Oh yeah.
And music's definitely a good relaxer. I love music.
Music is excellent.
Yeah.
Especially when you're drawing too, just like turn off the TV and just put on some music and just paint.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, Lori, have you seen Debbie's? She's got some adult coloring books.
Yeah, I love the color.
Yeah.
The dollar store has some really cool watercolor pens and everything.
When I first saw your comment, when you said adult coloring books, I was like, oh, do you get those behind the beauty curtain?
In a wrapper?
Yeah, in a wrapper, yeah. But yeah, they are cool.
Yeah, she meant grown-up coloring books.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm thinking like they've got to have grown-up coloring books.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe that's what she meant. Explain that a little further.
Yeah.
I should say adult.
Apparently.
You heard of parents?
Heard drawing.
Lately.
Just posted mandalas.
Lori figured it out there. Let me get this straight. It's a Wonder Woman.
I love it.
Well, that could be the same.
Yeah.
It could just be a Wonder Woman. How about Wonder Woman grown-up coloring books? That's what we need to word it.
That sounds, I don't know, I think she was on the right track. That sounds somehow even worse.
No, adult just has that connotation.
I remember introducing my mom to the internet for the first time, and she was asking about a recipe or something, and I was like, oh yeah, we can just Google it, and I put in like honey something, and like, yeah.
Uh-oh.
She was like, I don't think I like this internet thing. Like, okay, let me make some adjustments to the privacy
Controls.
Oh, there's a sex position coloring book on Amazon.
Jamie had to Google it. Love
Checking
it.
it out.
the Kama Sutra coloring book.
Oh dear.
Oh, if you look for it, you're gonna find it.
The dirtiest coloring book ever.
Laura said there's a swear words coloring book.
That's pretty good.
I think I got the swear words beat. There's some comments here.
Small cards.
I guess you gotta make sure you have like a lot of skin tone crayons.
Okay. Three. Organize. Nice. 25. 1.
Yeah, Lori, I did hear cards too.
You heard what?
I was thinking I heard cards, and Lori just typed it in there.
Yeah, I thought I did too.
I do have a deck of cards here. If anybody would like a Raven card, they're real short. It's an Oracle deck. Each of them just have a short little message on it.
First.
Who's first for a card?
Just gonna run. 1. That.
Debbie said she'll have a card. And Liz, okay. And now we got a call.
That says that.
Hello, who do we have?
Hi, it's Tyler.
What's up, Tyler?
Not much. I thought I'll do a card reading. I'm trying to get so I can see the cards being pulled, but my phone's not working. It. Or the spirits could talk. One of the two.
Yeah. You can do them both at the same time. Maybe.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with the world. The world is crumbling on me. I got anxiety really bad today.
Anxiety has been the topic for the last little bit here.
I used to be, when I was a kid, I was on 9 different medications trying to calm me down. I was a guinea pig.
That's tough.
I like the
Yeah, that's hard.
Okay.
Well, I should say hi to your guest. Hi, Steve.
Nice.
You didn't say buddy old pal Tyler.
Yeah, what's going on? What is going on?
Spirits have any messages for Tyler? You guys usually have something to tell him.
Sudden break.
This first card that I pulled for Debbie, again, it's the Raven Oracle deck. It says, bow down to the power which resides within you. Deep down, you are that power, and of that power alone. You are neither that which you think nor that which you possess. Bow down to your divine power.
That's good.
That was for Debbie?
Yep.
Facing. Seven. Yeah.
A whole lot of stuff happened today.
Evelyn would like a card as well. Rose.
My ball joint on my van broke. That was like the icing of the cake today.
Aww.
Days
Where he says do it, Rob, I don't know if he means he wants a card.
What's that?
Mommy. I don't know if we're all on someone.
Just take them one day at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day at a time. I got a job. That's
Oh yeah,
that.
you're better than a lot of people right now, for sure.
I work for one of the greatest companies. You guys were just checking it out. You're looking at stuff, and right now is the prime time to be buying stuff off of Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting packages being shipped all the way to New York. I haven't seen those before. Am I doing a good job for Amazon? Do they love me there?
So yes, this.
I think that was a yes.
Yeah, something yes. I'm gonna sound like I.
Am I gonna does my job have my back if I was to tell them what's going on in my life? Because like they really don't know. I spazzed out this morning on one of my supervisors. I had enough. But I made myself look like they said that that was some pretty good leadership the way I spoke my mind.
There you go. Yep. Stay calm and collected, and tell them what you think.
I feel like the biggest thing in the world, and I could say this personally because I have a hard time with it. Everybody just is quick to throw their hands up in the air and say, "Oh, screw this! I'm not putting up with it anymore. I'm just don't care." It's a lot easier to do than that than to, people should start communicating with each other and don't get upset.
Oh yeah,
getting so upset in the world.
Yep, I think the whole planet could use a dose of that right now.
Yeah.
Everybody just taking a moment, taking a breath.
Because I mean, that's the problem. Is like I can't say anything without someone spazzing out on me. It's like I'm being really calm and collective. I'm just asking for a team. You can't live in this world by yourself. You got to work as a unity.
Yep. Yeah. Nobody was meant to live by themselves, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any last questions for the box, Tyler?
Am I getting
We're down to 3 minutes.
Did you experience any big changes like me moving, my kids? I don't know what's going on in life. I'm just going with it, with the wind.
Let's see what they say.
So, and you and life as you want it. Bangs a little
I'm wondering what that female voice is saying.
I don't know. We'll have to listen to that back. But thank you for calling in, Tyler. It's good to hear from you.
Thank you for letting me be weird with you guys for a little bit. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Take care,
Love you,
man.
homie.
Yeah.
I will relax, spirits. Thank you. Okay.
Did I say cart? What did I say at the end?
I didn't catch it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I got Lori up
Car
here.
now.
Pulled this card.
It's like the ball thinking.
The message for you, Lori. It says, when you fly, take your heart with you. And when it's too tired, let it refresh itself. Don't fly without your heart. For without it, you'll never get anywhere. But with it, you'll always arrive wherever you are, whatever you do.
So 3.
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm sure he's still listening. I'm going to pull one for Tyler too. Maybe I'll have a good message for him.
Yeah.
All right. For Tyler, it says, with your wings. No, excuse me. It says, your wings have got all sticky. If your feathers are stuck together, then you can't take off and fly. What is it that you're sticking to? Unstick yourself. That reminds me of something else.
Kind of like unfuck yourself.
So that you can soar again and your perspective changes. Don't forget, you are the Raven. And this is the Raven deck. So that's a pretty cool card for you,
That's
man.
a good card for you, Tyler.
That's a good one.
Yeah, very cool.
And he has been unsticking himself.
Yep.
Trying.
All right, for Rose.
And I believe Evelyn and maybe Raw.
Rose, this Raven card says, open your eyes and perceive the hands bearing gifts, which are stretched out towards you. You may take what you want. Your pride can busy itself elsewhere.
Anything.
This one's for Ken. After the great flood, the Raven was the first to find land to live on, safe and fruitful earth. Fly off and seek your land, safe ground, fertile soil.
Is that for real?
And for all. 2 and 1, you are in the divine, and the divine is in you. And yeah, I think I heard Raw's name in here a few times too. Anybody else that I missed before we cut out of here?
Raw and Evelyn.
That last one was for Raw. Evelyn, last one?
Yeah.
Sisters are smelling.
For Evelyn. So there is no such thing as a right to exist. You just are. So be. As it just said, face your fears. Again.
The queen.
And Sherry.
All right, Laura's card. Oh, this is a cool one.
Yeah.
This card allows you to, it comes with about 7 blank cards, and you can write your own messages in here, which I've done to a few cards. And this is one of the messages that I wrote in here. It's not from me directly. It's from a friend of mine whose daughter was unfortunately killed in a school bus accident, but she left behind a book that had things written in it. And this is one of them. It says, chase your dreams, even if you trip a couple of times. Short and simple.
Yeah, that's really cool.
We got Azariana. Your card says, share out. Don't keep such a lot in your nest. Life is more comfortable with less. Too much ballast cramps one's style. Give willingly. I kind of find myself doing that sometimes. I look around and I'm like, I have entirely too much crap in my life. Where did I get all this stuff?
Yeah.
Let it go. And Christina. Your card says, the time to bemoan one's lot is past. If you don't like something, change it. In everything and everyone resides a potential for transformation. You have all that you need. Believe in yourself.
David Libby on YouTube. I don't know if you got him.
All right. Card for David. Respect your fear. By respecting it, you allow it to show you its true expression, and you can find a new, more loving path to yourself. Kind of interesting card for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly, Debbie. Seems to be in the cards too. Yeah, that card that I pulled for Laura that had my own, not my own, but my friend's daughter's message on it. That's a cool one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was really cool.
Yeah, got a lot of good pulls.
Absolutely.
And I knew her personally, so it's like a really emotional.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Makes me a little teary, but it means a lot.
Yeah.
So anyways, that about wraps it up. You guys have any last bit of info you want to share out there, or website or anything?
Yeah, we threw all that in when you were on tech difficulty there.
But thanks so much for having us
We
again,
appreciate
guys.
it, guys. Thanks everybody for joining us and listening to us ramble again.
You guys are awesome. We had a lot of fun talking with everybody.
I'll get a better picture scenario so we can zoom in on some of the pics and lighten them up.
Yeah, I'm going to work on that too. I'm going to try a PowerPoint presentation thing, maybe in Pages or something. I don't know. It's got to be something a little, let us blow them up a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah, there's got to be something out there.
Yeah.
But no, thank you again, guys. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's a good
Glad you guys joined us. Definitely anytime. So we'd love to have you back again.
Yeah, and thanks for all the advice, guys. Thank you very much for some of that as well.
Cool. And thanks for the spirits for chatting with us a little bit too.
Yeah. Looks like somebody's asking for the website, a nightamongghosts.com, and then the13keys.com is and then of course our new parlor is the oddmacabrecompany.com. That's our new parlor. So
cool.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us again. We'll be back Sunday night for Paranormal Soup, and back again next Wednesday. And Jamie and me are going to have a Halloween show coming up too. That's going to involve weird stuff and drinking and who knows what. So
sounds fun.
Pumpkin carvings, some frozen fireball shots. And y'all are going to participate with us.
Yep.
You guys going to order now? Shots first, then pumpkin carving, or
yeah, I don't know. I haven't
thought about that. Yeah, the shots are definitely coming after the carving.
Do the shots first. They have the little safety tools to carve with.
Yeah.
The little children tools.
Yes, exactly.
I have cut myself on the children's tools.
Yeah.
Better than a giant, knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Or one of the electric knives.
That little tiny hacksaw looking thing that comes with the pumpkin carving kits.
Rob, I will never picture scraping a pumpkin out with a spoon the same way again.
That's true. Yeah, that was a story from a week or two ago that was.
Oh boy.
We were
completely inappropriate.
Yeah.
Lori will never come back.
Yep. Well, cool. Thanks everybody, and had a good time. And thank you guys for coming on. And
Yeah, it's fun. Thank you again.
Cool.
Anytime.
Yep. We'll see everybody for next one.
All
See you guys.
Bye, guys.